it's Whitney, and welcome back to an episode of Spastic Chatter. If you're new here, Spastic Chatter is a platform meant to feature those in the Cerebral Palsy community, and I get together with individuals with CP, like myself, to have an uncensored chat, if you will, about what it's like living with this type of disability. And for this episode, I have with me Paige, and she is a motivational speaker who has a documentary coming out about her life. And I'm excited to talk with her. I'll let Paige introduce herself, and then we'll get on with the conversation. So take it away, Paige.
Yes, my name is Paige Bayless, and I do have a documentary coming out named My Life Between the Reins. We project that it will be hitting the film festivals in the spring. I was born with the umbilical cord around my neck 5 times, and doctor said I would never walk or talk or count to 10, and I was born into a horse family and a ranching family, so obviously my parents put me on a horse at 18 months of age, and they didn't know that little pony was helping teach me how to walk, and I'm still showing and riding to this day.
Awesome. So I kind of wanted to talk to you first about your documentary. How did the whole documentary come into play? And what it's going to be about your life, obviously, but how did it come into fruition, if you will?
One of the other horse owners in the barn that I show with is a film director, producer, and I had not met her before last year. And when we met last year, I was just simply talking to her, just like I am here. And all of a sudden, she said, I want to do a documentary about you. And I said, okay. And I didn't know what that would entail. But she approached me, and we become great friends, and that we've just been working on this for a year, and we had the vision of making the documentary to show a person with cerebral palsy that, still can ride and go and give people hope. People of all kinds, all disabled, able-bodied, just hope that they can do what they're meant to do. It may take more work, it may take a bit more time, but you can do it, and with a positive attitude.
Awesome. So what you're saying is it all starts with a conversation, and you never know where that conversation might lead. And for you, just having a conversation with someone led to them wanting to film your life and create a movie all around you. That's awesome.
Well, I don't like to think of it as
yeah, that was a poor choice of words on my part. Thanks for
And,
thanks for calling me. Thanks for calling that out, Paige. I appreciate that. But a documentary about your life.
yes, and
Yes,
the message of the hope that we can have in Jesus Christ and in our faith, and there is always, if you have an obstacle, there is a way to overcome your obstacles, and God, my message in the film is that the Lord gives us the strength to overcome and to walk out each day. And He's with us every day. And through the amazing times, the wins, and through the hard times, He's always there helping us, giving us strength.
that's awesome. I'm glad that you have that perspective and that you have something to keep you going. I'm curious. How do you're a motivational speaker? How do you? I'm sure people are wondering. How did that come to be, and how do you get your speaking engagements?
I When I graduated from college, I was trying to decide what I wanted to do, and motivational speaking was the avenue I wanted to take to help people and to enlighten them, to show them how and inspire them to know that they can do things and that there's greatness within them. Now that I have kind of been a hiatus of speaking for several years, I got married. I've been married for 15 years. And so the film has become the launching springboard for my speaking again. But when I was in my 20s, I was speaking for disability ministries, and I spoke a lot on behalf of Texas Scottish Rite Hospital, helping to raise money for the hospital and thank the sponsors. And I spoke to churches, giving my testimony of what the Lord has done in my life. That is what I'm doing now. Is I'm going back, getting back into churches and speaking and giving a testimony. I'm also just enrolled in the Ziegler Corporation Life Coach Program. I had my first meeting yesterday morning, and so I'll be in a year-long program to be a life coach. And through my training as a life coach, I will also have opportunities to speak and just see where it goes. And
Awesome.
it's exciting.
Awesome. And before we on our introductory call, I told you that I may challenge your perspective a little bit while sharing mine, and I just want to bring this topic up, because if and to see your thoughts about it. You're all, I, from talking with you, I hear you use the word inspiration a lot and inspire, which is awesome. I'm not knocking that, but when I speak about when I speak about inspiration, the next word that comes to mind that I like to discuss is motivation, because I can inspire you all day long, but what I really want to do is motivate others to like live the best way possible. Do you kind of share that that thought or perspective, or do you have any thoughts on it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I do the inspiration, but the inspiration is leading to the motivation, as you were saying, Whitney. And in my course, they're teaching us how to take people from different levels, from survival to success, from success to significance, from significance to legacy. And they equip us, and I like to equip my audiences with tools to take away. For instance, when you have a big goal, you set smaller goals to get to the big goal. So if you're, for instance, wanting to have 50 speeches a year by the end of next year, you have to break that down and take it day by day and go, okay, today I'm going to practice on presenting this particular speech. And you break down your goals to make them achievable. Another thing that Ziegler really teaches is self-affirmation, speaking positivity into your life, and actually have us do that with cards that they provide, and every morning, every night, I sit down and talk to myself and say I am self-disciplined, I am self-starter, I am confident, I am a winner, and in doing that, in teaching the audience to retrain their thoughts to positive thoughts, it isn't an overnight recipe. It happens throughout as you continue to do it day after day after day. And you begin to implant your mind with the positive and the pure and the good thoughts. And it helps to combat the negative thoughts that can hold us back from achieving our goals. And I like to just motivate my audiences to dream big. Dream as big as they want to. And with my Christian perspective, I always urge them to pray over what goals they do have and ask the Lord to lead them in the right direction to go. And He does. He does. He opens doors, and just like we be on this lovely podcast with you. He has, he helps us make amazing connections, and he guides us through that. And I really try to motivate my audiences to dream big, and life is hard, but if you're harder on yourself, life will be easier on you. And that is in the context, that is something that there's just a way of saying, to have the self-discipline to do what you have to do when you have to do it. So you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. And I like to talk about eating an elephant, because you can eat an elephant one bite at a time. So if you feel overwhelmed with a goal, you just take it one step at a time. And I'm doing that within my personal life right now. I allow myself 30 to 45 minutes for each project, because I have so many projects going on right now. And so I work on those, and then I go to my next. And another thing I teach is to plan your day. You get up and plan out. I have a plan almost every hour. I know.
That's right. I plan out my days, and I recently went through a pretty severe mental health journey, and I found that keeping myself busy during the day has helped. So that's when planning is really has really gave me focus on what I need to do that day to get my goals accomplished, and it's giving me motivation, like restarting the Spastic Chatter podcast and meeting people like you, and just having that physical, or I was gonna say physical connection, or having that social connection that helps with your positive mindset. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I think that's a good topic to bring up, is the mental aspect of disability and having cerebral palsy, or being a caretaker of someone with cerebral palsy. We have to be very aware of, our mental health. And it can get draining. To be very authentic, I do experience chronic physical pain, and that can, I know many of us do, and that can be mentally draining, and it's, I think it's something that it would be awesome to help within the community of people with CP to come alongside people like you and I are doing right now and say you can do this and it it's going to be okay. And to
But
just
it might not be okay in the moment, but eventually it will work itself out. Like it's important to realize that you might not be okay right now, but if you keep at it, like with your mental health and things like that, it will, and you use the right resources, it will get better. Like for instance, I started talk therapy, so I see a talk therapist. I started out once a week, and then I gradually stretched it out to once a month, and she's just there to listen to me and give me ways to cope with all of my stuff that I have going on. So she's helped me so much. So I'm a big advocate on that.
a question for you, Whitney. Do you experience anxiety?
Oh yes, I have. And this is all. I think this is all related to my having a disability. I have chronic anxiety. I've been diagnosed with chronic anxiety, moderate depression, and severe form of OCD.
Oh yeah.
So so I'm all about for my OCD. I don't really have compulsions, but I'm obsessed with routines because that's something that I can control.
Right.
Because with the disability, we all know that some of the things are most. I don't want to say most things, but there are an extreme amount of things that are out of our control that we have no. Does that make sense?
It does. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
And you have to learn to let them go.
Yes.
And not fear what is to come, and what, and get frustrated with what may be the current struggle.
Yes, and one of the things. Oh, I don't want to cut you off, but one of the things that I'm currently dealing with, I know we talked about it, but in our introductory call, is aging with cerebral palsy. Like I'm having to rely more on another person for help as I age with cerebral palsy because while this disability is not progressive per se, the spasticity like wears, because we both have spastic cerebral palsy, and the spasticity wears your body down. So I don't function like I did in my 20s and when I was younger. For those that don't know me that are watching, I may look like I'm like really young, but I'm 34, so just prefacing that. But yes, do you want to talk about like aging with CP?
Yes. So believe it or not, I'm soon to be 49.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I'm like, oh my gosh. And yes, aging a CP for me has looked like when I have had to become very intentional in doing physical therapy exercises or some kind of strength training exercises to keep my body going. That is what I have done. I see as I've aged where things are, it's always with CB, every day is a new day, a different day, and see that, challenges can be more so now, but it's just another way to figure out how to over to get through the challenges. I do walk and uh, I've always walked, but I've had times where I have had severe back pain and I have had to have rehabilitative therapy to keep my body strong to keep my spine, healthy, to keep my bones
You,
healthy.
since you're a rancher and everything, do you believe that horseback riding has helped you physically with your symptoms with CP?
Horseback riding has been integral to my whole life. As I said in the beginning, my pony taught me how to walk. And then at 9 years of age, my mom bought me a big horse. And we went on to just regular horseback riding lessons with a regular trainer. And I progressed from just riding lessons to then showing in the horse shows and in doing in the physical aspect of riding that helps to strengthen my core. It helps to stretch my hamstrings to this day. And I will be after this call going to ride so I
Awesome.
can strengthen my core and stretch my hamstring. And that is part of the
I don't,
horses.
I don't, I don't want to, I don't want to cut you off, Paige. But I don't have the paid version of Zoom, and just to let you know, we only have about 8 minutes left.
Okay,
So, uh,
what,
so it sounds like horseback riding has been very beneficial for you. Now,
it has. It's opened a lot of doors uh, that I feel very blessed to have happen. But I believe that we all have our own journey to success. The horses are just fine. But
awesome,
you have your own amazing journey that
awesome.
you've been through and you're so successful in what you do. And so we all have a different journey and we can all be successful and and uh, in being successful that looks to me like helping someone else.
That's awesome. I think that's it. I think that's an awesome way. I keep using the word awesome, but I think that's a very good way to end this episode. Is what you just said. We all have different journeys, and it's all about helping other people get to where they're meant to be.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Paige, for chatting with me. I really enjoyed it. And if for those watching, if you want to be on an episode of Spastic Chatter, feel free to reach out wherever you are viewing this or listening to this podcast. And I'd love to have you. And I will see everyone later. Thanks. Bye.